Intergalactic greetings to everyone, it's me again, D, and today we have a slightly unusual video for you. My personal top of the most powerful, mighty and influential characters from Cartoon Network. And since I've been observing Cartoon Network for over 20 years, I can confidently say that this top is quite accurate, but I won't argue with every other guy in the comments. Yikes. And starting off at number 10, we have Mandy from the series The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Although this little, slightly strange-looking girl may not seem threatening at first glance, she's much more powerful than one can imagine. She always comes out as a winner, just like Batman in any situation. She defeated death in a simple game and made her best friend. And if someone tries to control her mind, they end up being controlled by her. And she's not afraid of deep space or horrible creatures from the depths of hell, because even hell fears her. And according to prophecies, no one will be able to stop her when she grows up. And, funny enough, the only one who can possibly try to stop her is the dumbest character ever created. It's your best friend Billy. Coming up next, number 9, we have Megas from the series Megas XLR, a huge battle robot with incredible power and devastating weapons. It is capable of single-handedly overthrowing entire armies, destroying planets, trapping villains in other dimensions, and even time travel. After each fight, Megas leaves only destroyed wastelands of cities and planets in its wake. At number 8, we have Steven from the animated series Steven Universe. He is a hybrid of an alien gem race and a human, and not just any gem, but a pink diamond, one of the strongest characters in the entire series. From hyperspeed to incredible physical strength, the ability to levitate, create destructive shockwaves, heal any injuries, resurrect the dead, and even create new biological species that technically obey him, and even travel through the minds of other beings. And I haven't even mentioned all the indestructible shields that, with proper control, can be turned into weapons. Steven is just a simply nuclear mix of deadly abilities. That's just an overkill. And at number 7 we have the Powerpuff Girls, or any individual Powerpuff. Please note that the only series from the 90s is being considered, and not the modern reboot. Don't be fooled, these girls may enjoy engaging in various funny activities, but few can match their destructive power. In a regular game of tag, they destroy the entire city. They can fly, possess hyperspeed, leaving a trail of light behind them, shoot powerful lasers from their eyes, teleport, possesses incredible physical strength, and many other superhuman abilities. From sound waves to freezing breath, and on top of that, they can also time travel at the appropriate speed. According to mysterious rumors, their father is none other than Aku. I'm wondering how that's possible. Well, just compare the chemical X from which the Powerpuff Girls were born and Aku himself. Oh yeah, it's all coming together, huh? Coming up next at number 6, we have not just anyone but the very Aku from the animated series Samurai Jack. Aku, the Tyrant Master of Masters, Deliverer of Darkness, Shogun of Sorrow, and a deadly combination of abilities to conquer entire worlds. Born in the darkness of space before the beginning of time, an ancient embodiment of evil, which can only be harmed by a great weapon possessed by the gods or a weapon forged from a human soul that is not afraid of evil. Aku is one of the few villains who actually succeeded. And for many centuries, if not millennia, he ruled the Earth and even contemplated conquering space. Absolutely no one could stand against him, except for one persistent samurai wielding a magical sword. Sorry. Aku is a cunning sorcerer and master of darkness, with one of the most numerous and diverse armies of minions, and Aku himself is immortal and invulnerable to almost any type of weapon. It is practically impossible for ordinary mortals to compete with him. He can enchant, curse, freeze, manipulate the flow of time, change shape into whatever he desires, and can even transform himself into an army if his minions are not enough. 5th place, and as sad as it may be for me, Aku was surpassed by Anti-Pops from the animated series Regular Show. Although at first his abilities did not evoke much awe, it soon became clear that he had the power to destroy entire universes and reduce them to the level of non-existence. From colossal physical strength and flight to the control of destructive chaos energy. The only thing separating him from victory was his twin brother with a similar set of abilities, but in the positive spectrum. Endlessly fighting and destroying the universes, this happened countless times until Pops sacrificed himself to defeat Anti-Pops. However, in terms of resilience, Anti-Pops is inferior to Aku. Coming up next, we have the embodiment of the Devil, one of the most powerful villains on Cartoon Network, and his name is him. And you must be wondering, why? Well, simply because if you utter his name, strange thing might happen. So, for example, I will now say his name. See that? His range of abilities is so great that it would be foolish to list them all. In fact, he is practically omnipotent, considering he is immortal and can resurrect anyone at will. You can beat him to atoms, but he will eventually come back, so why hasn't he taken over the world yet? Well, he simply doesn't want to. He enjoys mocking the heroes and watching them suffer, but he never follows through to the end. Why bother if he defeats the Powerpuff Girls, who will entertain him with their infamous heroism and desire to save everyone? To understand the scope of his power, well, oh, this is good. Imagine there is good, represented by the good characters, and evil, represented by the evil characters. He can just simply switch this concept around, and all the good guys will become villains, and all the villains will become heroes. He's just doing it for the memes, you know, just to laugh at the chaos that ensues. Oh yeah, that's evil right there. Coming up next, number 3, we have two characters, Black Hat and Uncle Grandpa. Black Hat is a complicated case, since the cartoon series has not officially aired yet, but since the first season is already on the horizon, it's worth mentioning. According to his own words, all the villains on Cartoon Network will somehow be weaker than him. Black Hat actually defeated Anti-Pops. Black Hat represents the embodiment of evil and all the evil characters on Cartoon Network, while Uncle Grandpa represents all that is good, with his manipulations of space here and there, time and common sense. And if it weren't for his comedic nature, few could surpass him in power. At the first glance, he's just an old friendly fella with a mustache. Plus, Uncle Grandpa is one of those characters who managed to cross over with another cartoon series, Steven Universe. He simply appeared in the episode and started having fun there. So we had heroes and villains and other embodiments of good and evil. But who can be above them all combined? Only those who exist beyond good and evil. Second place, we have Gulp from Adventure Time. He is a deity of eternal chaos, and his only presence in any world destroys that world. That's why he resides outside of space and time, in nowhere, in eternal black emptiness. He is older than space and time itself. Good and evil are meaningless to him, and he is above all these concepts. His mere breath creates horrifying creatures, comparable in power to the Lich, and since life and death hold no value for him, he essentially pays no attention to any form of life when he briefly enters the real world. But who surpasses all heroes, villains, gods, and even chaos itself? The answer is simple. In the first place, we have none other than Ben Tennyson from the animated series Ben 10. He has long become the strongest character on Cartoon Network. In principle, almost all characters that grew along with the viewer over the years defeated increasingly powerful villains and become the strongest. Goku or Naruto at the beginning of their journeys were not the top characters either, but eventually became the most powerful characters in any rankings and comparisons. The same goes for Ben. He is no longer just a kid who uses a watch with 10 aliens. The possibilities of his abilities are limitless. He even prevented the destruction of all timelines in his reality, and even without the watch, he defeated all the strongest villains. He even once defeated the evil Cthulhu-like creature, Diagon, by taking its power for himself. And if he needs to measure his strength against beings of divine level, like Goku or Superman, or any other top-tier character, there is one simple answer. And that is transformation into celestial being or Hero X. This creature is absolutely omnipotent, possessing the omnipotential. To ask what he cannot do is foolish. In fact, he can do everything, from time travel to existing outside of a time and in all times simultaneously, to creating fully identical copies of himself. And talking about physical strength is also foolish. He can send almost omnipotent characters into space with a flick of his finger. Destroy the entire planet with a single strike, and even that it's not the limit. He can move so fast that he can create a black hole, and not just around the city or a planet or something. No, he just moves at unreal speed around the entire galaxy, creating a huge black hole the size of that very galaxy. And I don't think I need to mention how much faster than the speed of light one must move to achieve such a result. And to be honest, we only talked about the demonstrated physical perks. Reality manipulation on any level of existence, that's his main power. Once, when his native universe was being destroyed, he took the form of an alien X and created an almost identical copy. In other words, he just copy-pasted the entire universe. And the funniest thing is that he could have simply stopped the destruction of his universe instead. In the end, he himself did not understand what he had done, and it was very sad that all the characters we knew for 10 years are still dead and only live as copies created by Ben. And if in the form of Hero X, Ben makes a deal with the embodiments of chaos and order, well, there are no limitations. So yeah, I'm just gonna give you a little banal example. Well, Bill Cipher fans, please step aside, okay? There's nothing to look at. Imagine if Bill Cipher, the all-powerful demon capable of almost controlling reality, was taught by some law of attraction of oddities called gravity falls. It is true that Bill is a powerful being, but not absolutely omnipotent. If he makes a deal with chaos and order, then in the form of Hero X, he can repel this law, remove Bill from all phases of time and space existence. This omnipotential is incredibly vast. It's not just a simple control over reality, changing objects or creating energy. You can embody any energy, come up with a new energy, complete control over the laws of universe. And yeah, that's who the strongest character in Cartoon Network is. We're not considering a reboot here. A reboot, in a sense, is not a reboot at all. In Ben's universe, a multiverse with a huge number of variations of Bens coexist perfectly, so why not let the Seal reboot exist in one of the universes? Yeah. And that's pretty much it. That was my top of the list of the strongest Cartoon Network characters. That's how it looks like. Thank you all for watching this video till the end. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell, well, the usual stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one.